Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with NieR Automata episode number 5 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we got to the amusement part and just like I remembered in the game, it was great, like the whole introduction to a place where there's so many robots who are just there to have fun, not attacking them, but then we meet the opera singer, that big robot who has who wants to become beautiful, and like a nines and to be fight against her, and yeah, obviously in the end defeat. And there was that little section in the end where we see a mother and a daughter robot coming in, and nines like attacking them. And we can see how Ninus has this type of a mentality where he's like, oh, mission, I need to complete the mission, and no emotion, empathy exists inside of him, that type of thing. Anyways, that was the previous episode. Now from this point onwards, like I said, I do remember quite a few bits and parts of the game. However, most of the things, it's kind of hazy in my mind, so I probably won't be able to recall as clearly I was able to up until this episode. This point onwards, I might recognize some parts, but yeah, I might actually be a little bit, what can I say, like surprised by a lot of developments, because there's a lot of things I have actually forgotten about. Anyways, let's get started. So yeah, episode number 5 reaction. So I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. All right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, these two. Yeah, Adam and Eve. They have the apple with them. Adam and Eve. Being and nothing. Play with me. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is that place where they were having the meal. Okay. Well, gotta do what you gotta do. Side mission. Hmm. Besides, yeah, that. Ooh, interesting that 2B is actually. Yeah, I've heard that. Like 9s or 9s. All right. Ooh. Oh, this place. All right, I remember. Shopping center. Oh, okay. This is that part. All right. Toothbrush. Yeah. Oh, is this where they'll meet? Annihilate the mission. Ooh. True. Hmm. Hmm. But you're the one who's showing the maximum like it's interesting because 2 is the one who's showing the maximum emotion out of. Okay, here we go. Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay, I remember this part. Okay, okay, I remember it. Oh, this was so unusual when I played it in the game. Here we go. Okay, his eyes are green while the others are yellow. Yeah, Pascal. This is part of the mission, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Hmm. Yeah, they have like white flag in their hands. So peace. Yeah, okay. It's coming back to me again, little by little. He talks in a very smooth manner, unlike what? Yeah. I was saying that he speaks in a very smooth way, unlike the others. Oh, that's why. Ah. Hmm. Yeah. They're curious to see what's going on. Oh. True. Look at them. Yeah. Make good use. Wow. They even put it on makeup. Look at that. What the? Yeah, exactly. And they imitate humans. That is why it's like a community here. Village. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Oh, she can speak quite smoothly as well. Immediate release. Five. I don't think. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Wow. Please give the pots back. Yeah. There you go. I wonder how they decide who is the big or the who's the younger sister. But on the manufacture date? Wow. Oh boy. Damn. Um, good lord. Oh. Wait. Okay, well, why is yeah, why is okay, like I said, my memory is not. Hmm. Okay. Okay, here we are. Ooh. Oh, this is when everything was. Oh, wow. Wait, is this from Replicant? I think this is from Replicant, isn't it? I haven't played Replicant still. I need to play Replicant. Weapons that humans created. I think it is Replicant from those memories. Ah. Oh, still on the battlefield. Damn. His eyes are red, you can see. Oh, wait. So, no, his eyes are still red. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. He still kept fighting. Oh, damn, the oil. And this is where he changed. As soon as he, feels emotion, mm, and his eyes turned into yellow. There's still one thing I'm not able to understand. What's the difference between yellow and green? The eye color. When when they're content, is that when they turn green? I think so. Uncle Pascal. Hey, what's he crying? What is that? Music box. Oh, those ones. Yeah. Damn. The mustache. The sisters. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So when they gain emotion, they get severed from, I guess. Oh, Ninus is conflicted. Hmm. No, but they're out of the main framework now. Mm. Mm. Ah, true. Oh. Mark and Arca good. Oh, because it's beautiful. Nah. Look at the rainbow or something. Oh, that's why. Okay, makes sense. Very soon. Yeah. What's happening? Oh boy, here we go. Ooh. Everyone all nighter. Yeah, he speaks a little bit. Oh boy. Oh god. Oh my god, it's completely broken. Oh no. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why do we have to read books? True. Nissan. Hmm. Oh boy. Hmm. Okay, so like I said, from here onwards, there's a lot of things I have probably forgotten. But no, it kind of came back when as soon as I saw them, like with the white flag, I was like, oh yeah, this did happen, and I remembered Pascal immediately. There's also one part coming back in my head, but I cannot really put my finger on it. That is the part with the that face in the tree. I do remember, like the part. However, I do remember a few other things about that phase, and I don't even properly remember what happened, but I'm sure we'll get to see in the anime. Okay. Oh, there's still the last one left. L3 plus R3. Puppet play. Oh, Doobie. Hmm. Okay. Which is? Oh! Oh, okay, I remember this. Oh no, stop! Yep. Okay, here we go. I love how they actually made this a thing in the game. Okay. Oh god. So in the planet chunk of rock. Okay. Is that it? I was wondering if they're going to mention that in the anime, and they actually did. So, if you don't and if you've not played the game, you probably won't know this. But I think L3 and R3 wasn't it? There was that function which you could do to actually blow yourself up. Now, obviously, everyone will be like, "Why blow myself up? What's the point in that?" Well, there's a big point in that because in the game, whatever damage you're going to get is going to get reflected in your clothing. Like your clothes will get torn or something. And as we saw in the end, 2B's skirts get completely demolished, and that was an actual command in the game for scientific purposes, if you know what I mean. So exactly, that was the thing, and I was wondering if they're going to mention that in the anime, and they actually did it in the end, and I I'm pretty sure like everyone like what they used to do is they used to use a command. At least I used to do it like that. Use the command and then pop in a few of the health materials, the health up materials, and make my health complete again. However, it won't regenerate the clothes back up. Only the health will come up. So the final scene, as you saw, that's basically how 2B is left, and I'm pretty sure everyone just loved that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure NieR Automata has been a long time we've played the game ago. It has been quite a few years, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people knows about this. But especially also the people who haven't played the game, I'm pretty sure they probably have heard about this. But for the people who did not know what that was, this was basically the reason, and I love how they mentioned it in the end. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh god. Anyways, okay, in this episode, we meet Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve just sitting there, and we see you can see how they're changing. Like at the first scene that we see, Eve doesn't have that thing in his hand. That robotic thing, I think. But in the end, we see his hand is a little bit different, where he's holding the apple, and he's like wearing something. Not only him, but Adam is also wearing something, and they're wearing pants as well. Unlike the first scene where they were just wearing underwear. So you can see how they're they're changing, and they are also kind of imitating humans. And you can see that Adam is reading a book, obviously, and he's learning from there and teaching his brother about the different things. And Eve was like, "Oh, brother, why do we have to eat food? We don't need to eat them." And Adam is like, okay, what does Adam say? Apparently, mankind gained a great intelligence from consuming this fruit. Good lord. That's why an apple, the whole Adam and Eve and the apple. Um, that is why. So, damn. So he's reading a lot of books, obviously, and he's learning about it, and that's why he's like, oh, and we should eat because of that. We should eat food. And Eve was like, oh, so will you play with me after I eat food? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And he's like, all right, then I'll eat. And he starts eating. And that was the first scene. And from that point onwards, after the opening song, we get to see 2B and NieR are out on a mission. It's a transportation mission. Those missions where you just transport one place to another. One of the worst type of side missions that could ever exist in any games. That is fetching missions or transportation missions. Annoying as hell. Just go from point A to point B, just transporting something. However, for NieR Automata, it was a very pleasant experience because the the sceneries, the music, and everything is just so beautiful, and it was just a whole thing. So obviously, they're out on a mission, and I do remember. I think this was also part of the game where they were actually provided a mission to go to that village and make contact with Pascal, and that's what they did. So they're going, and they at first reach the Oh, interesting. 2B says one thing here. where Tubi says that errands are way better than normal missions because here you don't die. And you can see how Tubi is showing so much more emotion. And like she like here's the thing. It's kind of interesting to see the dynamic in both of their personality, 2B and 9S, where 9S seems a lot more animated and a lot more expressive. However, if you look at the situation way deeper, you can see 9S, obviously 9S has a lot of like a lot of hunger for learning new things. Like whenever he sees something new, he gets excited. He's like, oh, what is this, what is that, this is cool. So that is 9S. However, 2B is a little bit different. She might seem a lot more stoic and emotionless. However, she's the one who has the maximum amount of emotion. And she was not obviously not like this, but after she met 9S, in the first, like the whole black box incident before that, 9S actually made her like that. Because 2B was also kind of very stoic, only goes for the mission, but 9S changed her. And since her data was backed up, unlike 9S, she retained all those emotions and the stuff that she learned from 9S. So that is why she's so much different and has so much more emotions, even though, it might not look like it. It might not look like she's that much emotional, but, like she's a lot more thinking about all of these things. However, 9S here, you can see he's conflicted. You can see that he has this drive to complete his mission because he wants a world which is peaceful, obviously, and that's why he could do anything and everything, even kill that the robot mother and their daughter you saw in the previous episode. However, that is because he is trying to complete his mission, and he wants a peaceful world. But at the same time, there is a part of him that's kind of conflicted about what he's doing. Not only that, there's a huge curiosity in him. He's curious about everything, and like we see that later on as well in this episode. So here, 9S is like, oh, call me Nines. That's what everyone calls me, and Ruby's like, oh no, it's fine. I'll call you 9S. But anyways, they go inside the supermarket, or like department store, whatever you call it. And here 9S is like, oh, this is a place where everyone, when humans used to go and buy stuff. And he's like going around, and as I said, he has so much curiosity. Looks at a toothbrush and he's like, oh, what is this thing? Kind of fluffy at the end. I wonder what people use this for. And then he's like, oh, what is this thing? This little box thing. I wonder what people use this for. And he's like thinking of all of this. And now here's the thing. Like I said, my memory is pretty jumbled up with a lot of things, and I do remember something happening in the supermarket. A weird thing happened. I'm not telling it properly because I guess it could be considered spoilers. However, I don't exactly remember when it happened, but I think it's probably going to happen later on. So I was like, oh, maybe that is going to happen, but that didn't happen. So I'm still waiting for that. I'll talk about it when it comes in the anime. However, yeah, my memory is a little bit jumbled from this point onwards. I don't clearly remember everything and anything. Anyways, so 2B is like, oh, let's do our mission. Like we shouldn't be distracted. And 9 says that, oh, we are just looking at all of these places. Like how it would feel after we, everything is okay, after we gain peace, after the machine life forms are, driven off. We can come here and just shop, and 2B is like, but I do have my clothing with me. And 9S is like, oh, it's not the significance is not that we're going to go, we'll have new clothes. The significance, the reason why we're going to be doing this is because it's just fun to, move around and shop with someone beside you. So that's why 9S is like, oh, let's come here after, everything is okay. And but we're interrupted here. We see some signals on the other side, and here we go. We are in this village where so many machine life forms have a white flag just waving. And yeah, immediately I recognized this place, and I remembered because this was one of the main hubs, like the resistance camp. I remember this being a main hub where you used to come and get missions and stuff and all that, like buy stuff, sell stuff, as far as I can remember. So yeah, it was like a very unusual thing. Not as unusual because the amusement park happened. We saw how not all machine life forms are at your throat all the time. There's a few of them who doesn't want to fight, and these is just a village comprising of them. They don't want to fight, and we see how there's so many. And 2B says like, "Oh, Ninus, put your sword down. This is a part of our mission." And Pascal comes out. Now here's the thing. I've been saying this from before, and I am not exactly sure if my the way I'm thinking of about this is correct or not. But there's a thing that was bothering me, that is, why do, like, obviously you can understand that red eyes means they're hostile. So what's the difference between yellow eyes and green eyes? There's a lot of the robots have yellow eyes, very few have green eyes. So this is what I'm thinking as far as I could understand. I'm pretty sure the game probably explained this, but I just don't remember what they explained. But from the anime, as far as I could gather, is that yellow is when you gain emotion. When the machine life forms gain emotions, they're yellow, their eyes turn yellow. When they're connected to the mainframe network and they're hostile, their eyes are red, and they're always like, oh, defeat everyone, like, kill the dolls, kill the humans, that type of thing. But when they are gain emotion, when they get that emotional thing that, like we saw in one of the previous episode, after that little robot found a flower, it gained emotion. That is when their main network, signal is just cut off, and their eyes turn yellow when they gain an emotion. So when is that their eyes turn green? I think when they are content. That robot in one of the previous episodes, you see when he fell down, at the end of his life, his eyes turned green as soon as he saw that flower blooming. So I think that was his goal, and he was content with that. And when he found, peace within himself, I think that is when his yellow eyes turned green. So any robot that you'll find has green eyes are robots who, I think, have gained peace within them. They have found a reason, or like something has been fulfilled within them. Pascal is one of them, because I'm pretty sure Pascal's main, the peace that Pascal wanted, and the content that he has felt, is this village. After this village has been made, he's been content, and he has found something meaningful here, and that is why his eyes are green. All the other robots whose eyes are yellow are still on the way and still on the lookout for something they want, and they are also on the lookout for peace or contentment within them, which still they hasn't found. When they're able to find it, I think their eyes are also going to turn green. And this is just a guess, as far as I could observe from all of these things. This is just a guess. Anyways, so Pascal is like, oh, you have come here, are you here from Lily? And yeah, so we get a little flashback where Lily said that we're supposed to bring these, raw materials to the other group, to Pascal, and they don't want to fight, and that's why we are not going to attack them, because they're helping us out. We're kind of coexisting, and they want some raw materials and stuff, like oil and stuff, and they also help us out in our own thing. So we're just working with them. And but Ninus was kind of conflicted. Ninus was like, but we're supposed to kill them like machine life forms, while Lily was like, yeah, but they're not going to fight. They're putting out white flags, so obviously we cannot attack them. So that is why we have decided to coexist, and they don't want anything to do with us, for fight with us. Neither do we want to do that. So they're fine, they're cool. So we get that flashback, and yeah, and we are here in the village, and Pascal takes us in, and you can see that Tubi is impressed. Tubi is like, wow, a machine life form can converse to this extent. And here we get to see why a few of them are able to converse so fluently. It's because they're reading books. They're reading books, and Pascal has read a lot of books, and that is why he's so much he's like basically talking like humans. Unlike the other robots who are just just broken English they're speaking, Pascal is just fluently just speaking, and because he's read books, so many books. And so the robots that you see saying way more broken way of speaking, that would mean they're not that much not that much fluent in speaking because they haven't read that much books or haven't conversed much. That's basically the thing. Okay, so here we can see the Ninus is a little bit, like a kind of a little bit mad at the whole thing, because obviously he's like, what the hell is going on? Like, these machine life forms, they attacked us, killed our comrades, and now they decided to make peace with us, just like that, And Ninus is not happy, and he's kind of like has a little bit of a, like a little bit of a spark in his voice, a little bit of a bluntness. While Pascal is like, yeah, I understand, I'm so sorry, but we know we have done so many things. However, we don't want to fight. We are the people who have fled from such warfare, and we don't want anything to do with war. And here Pascal says something so good. He's like, the only way to understand someone is to get to know them. Isn't that right? And that's why they're learning to speak, obviously, because they want to interact. And yeah, it is true. Unless until you interact, it's like the conflict will never end. And I love this part where when we see the robots are just peeking in, seeing what's happening. So if the robots are just jumping around, one falls flat on its face, the other one grabs its legs and just drags them outside. Okay. So to be exact, the intent for the machine life forms are like, we're still not sure. We do have the option of simply returning right now. And 90 is like, our mission is to investigate them. If they don't have any animosity, let's just make good use of how much as we can. And we see so many machine life forms like doing stuff that human beings do. There's that mother, like robot who's like, how long are you going to coop yourself up in there? Come out already. Bang on the door. And it's like so many people, like not people, so robots are doing so many things. And the pod says that this is just a village where people make a community and they work together, and that's what they're doing. And which kind of shows that obviously you cannot leave alone. Like you always need to be together, and so we meet this one little robot girl who is very excited seeing the pods and grabs the pods. I love how the pods are like, oh, 5 seconds left for us to attack you. Better, like hand us over to them. However, 2B is like, oh, you shouldn't attack them, pods. We're not authorized to attack them. And the pods just keep quiet. Anyways, so the little girl is like, oh, what are these? These are so cool, cute. And so she's like, can I take out the headbands, the eye bands that you're wearing? And 2B's like, no, that is not our rules. And she's like, what are rules? And 2B's like, rules are like promises. And we get to see the sister who is like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, there you are. Like, oh, don't bother them. And she kind of apologizes to 9D and 2S. And she's like, come on, sister, come with me. And gives the pods back to us, wave us goodbye, just like human beings. And and 2B is like, oh my god, not 2B, sorry, 9S is just having like what can I say, like an actual, because his mission is to destroy all the machine life forms, and he's so conflicted now. So anyways, so after that they go down, and underneath, and there they find a tree with a face in it. And here we go, this part, like I said, this face has a big significance as far as I can remember. I don't remember everything clearly. It's a little bit hazy in my head, but I'm looking forward to see more, get to know more about this face, because this face has a big significance in the whole story. Now, after that, 9B is like, okay, let me hack this thing. And even if it is not alive, like maybe I can find something about it. And he hacks it, and obviously whenever he hacks something, he goes into its past and sees visions, and that's what he starts doing. We see the human world with everything intact. We see a lot of people, the department store we see so many people, white-haired, there's this white-haired girl, there's this red-haired these two girls who are probably the twins we saw before, in Lily's group, those two, because their eyes were kind of censored, not censored, but covered with the light. And Now, after watching all of these scenes, I was like, what are these? And then I realized, okay, this must be from NieR Replicant. Because I do know NieR Replicant is a prequel, a kind of thing, to NieR Automata, where it showed the world before all of this war happened and all these things. So I think this is from NieR Replicant. Correct me if I'm wrong. I still haven't played NieR Replicant. I should definitely do that. However, I'm waiting to watch the anime full because, like I said, there's a lot of things I've forgotten, and watching the anime will probably make me remember everything, and then I can play NieR Replicant. Otherwise, I'll have to play NieR Automata again, and I don't have that time for it, unfortunately. So that's why I'm just waiting for the anime, to complete the anime, and then I'll go to NieR Replicant. Anyways, so Ninus is like just freaked out over there after he comes out forcibly out of the you know out of the hacking, and he's like, oh, these seems like stuff from the previous era, and he says that this face looks like a weapon that humans created in the past. Okay, humans did a few thousand years ago even. But what is it doing in a place like this? Now here Pascal comes in, and Pascal is like, oh, I met this thing when I was fighting. And he says, he tells us a story where he got blasted away and he fell here, and we can see that his eyes are red here. Obviously, he was in a mission. He was connected to the main framework. So he comes here and he remembers the scene very clearly where something happened, and this face this face, it was saying something like live, live, and something happened and something changed within Pascal. Still, his eyes weren't red, didn't turn yellow. He was still red, but something did change, because from this point onwards, Pascal, even after he was fighting, he started having emotions and started thinking about stuff that he never thought he would think. Is like he sees his comrades dying and he starts feeling bad. Like little by little he gains emotions, and after everyone dies, he's just there all alone, standing in front of a a battlefield of corpses of machine life forms, and he realizes that he says that I did not understand that this was such a sad thing. I was simply inorganic, apathetic, and such a self was more terrifying than anything else. And that is why we see his eyes have turned yellow. So this is where he gained emotions and got broken, his connection got cut off from the main framework. And Ninus still isn't able to believe and accept this. He's still in conflict. He's like, this has to be a bug or an error. And Pascal's like, yeah, you're right. I probably have gone mad. This is probably not something normal that arch machine life forms should do. This is definitely a bug. But he's like, no, but even though I'm happy with this, I have this village now with me, and everything is so good here. I found a place. And he's like, yeah. So they go back to the village, and we see these three little robot kids who have come. One of the robot kids has like a little music box, and he's like, oh, what is this? And Pascal shows it. Oh, it's like a music box, kind of plays it for him, and they take the music box and go away, start playing with it. And yeah, we see this village. It has so many robots living together, coexisting and everything, and Pascal is content. Everyone here has been cut off from the main framework and then want nothing to do with war. And he says we must have lost a lot of things, but at the same time we have gained so much in return. We have this village with us. And yeah, and 9S is obviously conflicted, because here's the thing. 9S, he says what he's conflicted about. He goes to the top of the roof, it's raining, and he says that what's up with all of this? These are machine life forms who we are supposed to kill. They have killed so many of our comrades, and now suddenly a group out of these machine life forms suddenly decided they don't want anything to do with war, and they want peace, and they have settled here. Like, what's up with all of that? Isn't that a little bit selfish for them? And he says so many units like that are gathered here. They finally separated themselves from the network and became free. they're contradicting themselves. But then 2B says that no, they're not. You cannot leave alone. You know, and the pod kind of gives a scientific explanation. He says that power is required for the other units for long stable activities, all this stuff. But when it comes, like if you think about it properly, emotionally, you cannot live alone. You always need to form a community, be it humans, be it machine life forms. Everyone needs other people to coexist with, otherwise you cannot be alive. And yeah, to be says you cannot live alone, not even machine life forms. And here we can see that something gets in 9B's head and he's remembering something. And then 9B kind of jokes like, then it also means that 2B, you also need me as a okay. And then then he stops talking and he's like, oh, let's go back 2B. But 2B's like, oh, let's make a little mark here, like a little geo mark. What does she call that? A little bookmark? Oh, location on the map and archive it. 9S is like, wait, why? And she's like, yeah, because after everything goes peaceful, we'll come back here for shopping, like you said. And 9S is happy. And yeah, they go back to the village and we see a little trouble is brewing in the village. Those kids who had the music box, they're fighting with each other now. The one who found the music box, he's like, no, this is mine. And the others are like, oh, no, show it to us, play with us, like, together with us. Pascal is like, come on, like, you should share everything with everyone. Obviously you found it, but you should share it with everyone. Now we can see the little robot has something that is bothering him as well, and that's why he's acting like this. He says that no, want, everyone own item, own me, nothing, talk weird, outcast. So it's crazy to see, like, you hear how he's talking here, and then when you hear the other two robots, the little two robot kids, they're like, just give it back to me, moron, you're being mean. They're speaking so smoothly, and you can understand that what he's getting, like why he's so troubled with it. It is true, his speech patterns are still a little bit more fragmented, unlike the other kids. And that is why I'm pretty sure maybe the other kids made fun of him or something. What happens, and kids are mean to each other, obviously. It's nothing new. They are mean to each other. And that's basically what's happening here. They're kind of maybe a little bit making fun of him or something, maybe bullying him. Who knows? But that is why he's like, oh no, this is mine, I'm an outcast. I'm not able to talk properly, and that's why this is mine. Everyone owns something, this is mine, I found it. And but Pascal is like, no, you're not an outcast, what are you saying? We should share this with everything. Obviously the other kids are like, no, give it to us. They start trying to snatch the music box away, falls flat on their face, the music box falls down, breaks. And and it's broken, and they're fighting with each other now, like kids do. And 9S is like, oh, they're fighting again, and even though this is just their nature. And the pod is like, these kinds of troubles have a high chance of occurrence in a community. Each unit's objectives or gains clash, creating dispute, which is true. You cannot get out of dispute, as long as you're alive. Even if you're the best of friends or family, there will be conflict within, among each other. But that doesn't mean that, this happens, obviously. When you live together, like the pod says, obviously your ideals, the way you look at the world is going to clash. And 2B is like, when there were weapons, their only objective was to fight, but now they're, and 9S is kind of concerned. He's like, oh, if they keep going like this, they're going to. And when he was going to go and stop them, the call comes in, and the operator, she's like, oh, daily operator call, your regular scheduled contact, operator 210 to 9S. And 9S obviously kind of falls back a little bit and sees, those little kids, they're still fighting amongst each other. And we see Pascal trying to stop them. And Ines is like, oh, nothing to report. And then we get a little scene of Adam and Eve again. And Eve is like, oh, brother, why do we read books? Can we just transfer all this data in our head or something? Like, why do we need to read them? And Adam says a very interesting thing. He says, like, it doesn't enter your heart unless you read it yourself. True. You need to feel it with your heart. And Eve is like, all right. Adam is like, oh, you should read books as well. And Eve is like, no, but I have you, brother. And the brother is like, Adam is like, Eve, you should call me as elder brother or Nissan, not Ni-chan. Because obviously when they were, the mentality was like kids, he probably called him Ni-chan. But now, that he's growing up, his mentality is growing up. Brother's like, you should call me Nissan now, And he's like, in the end, he's like, all right, fine, Nissan. And that's where it ended. And yeah, you can see how everyone is growing. We have this community where everyone has grown tired of fighting. They're just out from the main network. Pascal is the leader of them, and they're growing. 9S and 2B are also growing emotionally and developing. Adam and Eve, they were born a few days ago. They're also growing now, as they're Adam is reading more books and he's teaching Eve about how to be a human being or something. So everyone is growing. It's that's what's happening. And yeah, looking forward to where this is going to go. And this is as we go more and more deeper into the story, it'll get way more interesting. And this is just the beginning. There's so many things I remember that happened after this. I don't clearly remember them. However, it was crazy. It was a wild ride. Anyways, yeah, that was it. That was my reaction to episode number 5 of NieR Automata. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of NieR Automata. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.